So I wanted to talk about there's kind of this back and forth, and I'm getting a little tired of this. Um, it feels like a psyop to me, but I don't want to like poison the well. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna just kind of open it up to you guys. The woke right, psyop or a real thing? I'll go to Ian first.
Psyop. I just first okay. Well, I don't believe in a left and a right. I don't see the world in that binary setup. There are times and places where you can segment people into little groups,
Hmm.
but when you're talking about representing an idea, each person is different. So, and they're also all very susceptible to change. So but the idea that people in a certain political movement or in people that aren't in a certain political movement can get twisted and become woke is very real.
Sure.
The media can manipulate people into getting excessively, identitarian. People that think that what they believe is so true that like they'll die for it, like that kind of dangerous radicalization that can happen to people. Yeah, I think that can happen on all over the place.
But what do you make of all these intellectuals posting 500 times a day about the woke right? To me, it seems like astroturfed. Like they're like trying. I don't know if I'm reminded of. I think the movie Clueless or Mean Girls or something. Where in the movie they're like, stop trying to make fetch a thing. Like where this girl's trying to make a catchphrase a thing. I feel like they're trying so hard to make the woke right a thing that like if it takes you a half an hour or several podcasts or a 43 tweet thread to get me to understand what the heck you're talking about, I kind of feel like it's not a real thing.
Yeah, it's like intellectual masturbation.
Yes.
James Lindsay, who's a friend of mine, and I've asked him like, hey, let's do a show and talk about it, the woke right, because seeing 8 paragraphs of garbage talking about the history of this guy and that name and Hegelig and right, left, right, counter right, woke left. And I'm like, dude, no one gives a fuck. And I feel like now people have said the word on TV and James feels like he's got this idea that he's been typing about has some notoriety. So he's in glee. He's experiencing glee and he's writing about it more, but it's not explaining it. And until we do some justice to the phrase, the credit, like we need to explain what the fuck it's a misnomer. It's a herring. It's like a misguide unless we actually address it.
I agree with you. And I'll kick it to Luke here because I'm very interested in the amount of people that seem to be pushing it in a coordinated manner. Many people who I'm friendly with in real life. So this isn't like a personal attack, but it seems so weird that like, they keep telling me I'm supposed to care about this thing, and it makes me feel like, but why? Why am I supposed why are you telling me I'm supposed to care so much about this thing that I don't even nobody can even accurately explain to me? I feel like it's a psyop to fracture the right, or it's at least like a byproduct of the Trump's big tent. It is a negative repercussion of, or it's just a function of kind of the big tent. What do you make of this seemingly inorganic push to talk about, the woke right? Because I see Tim, is going back and forth with Colin Wright about it. I tend to agree with Tim on it. Like, first of all, why should I care about the woke right? And why is it so hard for you to tell me what the heck it is?
Yeah, I think it's just narrative control. It's like, oh, we're losing influence. We have no one to fight. We got our influence by fighting people on the left. The left are pretty much capitulated and destroyed culturally and politically. It's like, well, let's start a fight with the right wing. And let's get our scruples, get our attention there as they're having our lunch because they're actually willing to talk about issues that we're too afraid to talk about. I think that really just hits the nail on the head when it comes to this kind of argument. As listen, there's a lot of narrative control. There's a lot of people saying you can't talk about this, you can't say this, you can't express these opinions, and if you do, you're now woke right. No, you're just willing to have more of an honest kind of discourse that a lot of people don't want to have, since they want to control what you cannot say.
Can anybody describe? Can anyone describe what they describe as the woke right? Yeah, I don't even understand what the hell they're talking about.
I think it's like people that just believe Donald Trump is the savior, and they're not even going to critically think anymore. People that have given up on critical thought because they've acquiesced, they've given their faith to another.
Yeah.
Is
So
like,
the MAGA loyalists, like the worshipers.
Yeah, that's super dangerous.
That is dangerous, but that's what you're saying, that they keep calling the woke right?
When I look on the woke left, I see people manipulated by mass media into thinking that they finally figured it out. Now they're awakened, but they like awakened within a dream, and they think they're still, but so it's the same thing of these people being manipulated by Trump's media or the media surrounding the Trump movement. Like, if you don't know what he's doing, don't support it. Like, if you really don't know the paperwork that got signed and you didn't read the print, don't like yay about it until you know what it is.
Well, I think that's fine.
People can do horrible stuff on accident or on purpose. Like,
I think that's a fine criticism then. Like, so if they were just talking about, hey, don't be a MAGA cultist, I would agree with that. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, there are a lot of people that ascribe everything Trump does to fifth dimensional chess, which I don't think is good. I don't think it's good for Trump. I don't think it's good for the movement. If that's what they're talking about, fine, but it's not. It's a long, windy road to call that woke.
There's another aspect of it. I think this one's a little more controversial because it's just people that are indoctrinatedly religious. They can appear on all sides of political realms, like people that are like, no, children, like the what do you call a religious cultish mindset of, yes, 14-year-olds can have their boobs cut off. We need the transgender movement. Like, we need the medical treatment. We need this like almost religious belief in the science is sort of like the belief in the religious texts. Okay. Like, if you're gonna say you're someone that has facts and proof and you believe in logic, but you're gonna tell me that a book is your like, okay, the book says it's real. Well, what's the evidence of that? Because it says it is. That's the circular logic of that, and that's a woke indoctrination.
Okay, so I get like if that's who they're talking about, is people on the right who refuse to criticize Trump, maybe somebody like Cat Turd, for example, fine, but we already have a term for that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like a Trump zealot, okay. But like those have existed since 2015. It just seems so weird, Luke, that this is like it seems like they're really trying to make it a thing. And yeah, I don't understand why I should care.
You shouldn't. We should ignore it and focus on pushing conversations where we want it to push it in a way that isn't tightly constricted like they want it tightly constricted. And, I think also, there's a double-edged sword in addressing it because then you kind of give it more power.
Yeah. I tried to tell Tim that on Saturday. I was like, stop responding to these people. Like, no disrespect to James Lindsay or this Colin Wright guy, but these guys get like 10 likes or 20 likes on their tweets. They're relatively irrelevant. Tim engaging them constantly is that's what they want. Like, it seems like they're trying to sabotage not just like the right wing, because I don't even consider myself right wing. I'm more like just a classical liberal who's anti, progressive is like far leftism. But like I keep seeing it on my timeline. It just feels like, man, this is being. You ever get like that feeling that something's a psyop? Like, it's just like, this is weird. Why does this tweet have 30,000 likes? And why is everybody? It's like the NPC update. Like, we used to make fun of the left for that, like Orange Man bad, and they put it in there. Now it's like they put it in there and it's like woke right. And people on the right are saying they're not really people on the right. They are people who have been adopted by the right, who are more like liberals, who are now using this as a pejorative or a negative term for, I don't know, people who are fans of Trump. I don't even understand who the hell they're talking about most of the time.
Well, I mean, I'll push on about people that believe religious texts as if they're real, like with the evidence of because it says it's right. That's the evidence, is because they said it was. Like, that is woke as shit. You cannot just believe authority without critical question.
Well, that's almost the opposite of woke. But like, you're asleep. But like, I mean, I watched a podcast. I tried to get through it, and like James Lindsay literally said that because the devil is the morning star and you wake up in the morning, that's woke. Like, I fell out of my chair laughing. I think I was watching it with Luke. I was like, what is this? Like,
Okay.
are we just saying anything that includes the word woke is a wokeism? I don't get it.
This is James. This is the problem with James, who I love a lot. He's very smart. So I think I had just been like, oh, I just assume that what he's doing is right and good because it's James and he's intelligent.
Yeah.
But he's way overplaying the term. He's made his point. He started it and it wasn't catching on. So he would push it and push it and push it. Now it's caught on. Doesn't need to push it anymore, but he has been because he's used to doing it now. And he's enjoying that people are finally talking about this thing he's been talking about for a year and a half.
Yeah.
The woke right. But he's overusing the word to the point where you're like, why am I? It's confusing me now because I'm overhearing it.
Yeah, somebody in chat said you watched the clip without the whole context. No, I watched that entire podcast, and that was literally the exchange. He was having I'm about to say something really smart moment, and he equated the morning star to waking up and to wokeism. Like, there is no additional context required. It was like, it reminded me of like sitting in my friend's basement on like our fourth joint and being like, you know what, man? What if they just made like a cheeseburger that was like so big it would solve world hunger, man? And then someone's like, yeah, why don't they do that? Like, it was like,
Ian had a lot of those conversations this weekend, right?
I've had a lot of those conversations in my life. I'm not judging, but it seems like
that.
Yeah, it seems like
I'm trying to mute my microphone here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It seems to me like some kind of weird psyop to divide the MAGA base, not the right wing, because none of these people, like, isn't Colin Wright the Google whistleblower, or no? Who am I thinking this guy is?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Colin put out that meme of how the left him, and Elon retweeted it. He got kind of
that guy. Yeah. Okay.
He's been on IR. I think it is a real phenomenon, but it has been memed to the point of excessiveness now, and it's like people are like, "Finally, I gotcha," and they just want to like jam it in there, and you're like, "All right, okay, yeah, it's a thing, whatever." But
yeah, I hope Tim debates him because I think that would be an interesting conversation. I would like to hear what exactly is woke right, but more importantly, you know, a lot of things exist, a lot of definitions exist that are pointless. Like, there's a word for that monkey poop coffee or cat poop coffee. Okay, that's a thing, but why should I care about it? Why should I care about the woke right? That's really more of what I'm interested in.
I think it's because if they get into power, or if this political movement, the MAGA movement, which tends to be right leaning from what they say, gets like extreme political power and like dictatorial power, because the Patriot Act, the NDAA, that they could instantiate like a Handmaid's Tale reality, and they think they're doing the right thing.
I love it. I love the Handmaid's Tale. That's how we should live, Ian. And then the MAGA party just Paulina Luna just proposed getting rid of the Patriot Act. You know, so
good.